All right, greetings everybody. We're on the USS Bataan with LHD-5, right? Yeah, there you go. And I was lucky enough, courtesy of the United States Navy and the Marine Corps, to have actually embarked on this vessel, I think, in 2017. So this is like a little bit of a reunion. This is great. So we have Chief Petty Officer Roger Duncan, who's a mass communications specialist, and we have CS2 Crawford. Now, we're here to talk to you about food, right? People love food. All right, so your job, as I understand it, is to feed about between 1,800 and 2,200 people, give or take?
Yes, we feed upwards of 3,200 on a fully embarked deployment, and we feed them 3 times a day, plus some people in the middle of the night for mid-rats.
All right, so obviously there's no supermarkets. How does that work?
So we have personnel down in our storerooms, and they end up ordering food about weekly, so that we will never run out of food. We try to keep about 30 days worth of food for everybody on the ship at any given time.
Okay. So how do you figure that out? Like, you know, because people are like, sometimes I'm in the mood for tacos, sometimes I'm in the mood for like a protein bar. How do you figure all that out?
So we have a set 21-day cycle menu. So every 3 weeks, we do the same menu. So any given day, every 3 weeks, it's going to be the same meal, so that you can easily order for it and you can easily know how much you need.
All right. So what are the real barn burners of food? Like what do you like just run out of right away?
Every Wednesday we have burgers, so everybody always loves that the most. So you'll see people lined up an hour before the meal starts, just ready to wait, just waiting for the meal to start so that they can eat.
Okay. And what else is very popular? What's a very popular breakfast item?
Very popular breakfast item is biscuits and gravy. You can't go wrong with
that.
It.
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
People also love corned beef hash. Kind of looks like dog food, but tastes really good.
Yeah. I love corned beef hash with a little bit of scrambled eggs and some home fries. Oh, the best. And a nice cup of coffee.
Yeah, nice cup of fully caffeinated coffee.
That's right. So I guess for the radio audience out there, do you guys ever buy caffeine, decaf?
We've ordered it a handful of times, but it never shows up. Nobody wants it.
So that's the breaking news for this show. No decaf in the Navy. Just don't even bother. What are the big challenges as far as getting like fresh fruit, keeping it all, from I guess deteriorating? Like how do you maintain all this stuff?
So fruit is always the first one to go. Whenever we get it in the storerooms, we try to give it out to the crew as quickly as possible, because once we get it'll really only last a week for about half of it, like the fresh berries and the fresh strawberries, all those. But the lettuce and all those will last a couple weeks at most. But we try to get that out to the crew as quickly as we can.
Now, when you're like, let's say you're deployed, let's say you're doing some kind of humanitarian mission somewhere out there, where do you get all your supplies?
So we order it through a system called FSM, which is Food Service Management, and it will go to Cisco storerooms if we're on the East Coast, or whichever storeroom if we're in a different country. Those get loaded onto a supply ship, and those get floated to us, and it's a big event called a RAS, where we try to unload all the food down to our storerooms.
Right. So what do you do? The ships have to go parallel, and you got to have lines going across or something like that?
Yes, you can either do the lines, or you can just have a helicopter take them off the supply ship and drop them onto our ship and bring it down.
That's got to be pretty cool to watch.
Oh, it's really cool. The lines are definitely a bit more interesting to watch, because it's just a tightrope that just slides them down.
All right, so you have to be somewhat creative, I guess, in your food preparation, because if you sit there with little cans of tuna and a can over, it's going to take you 3 days to get it all right. So how do you deal with all the volume?
So all the food, or almost all the food that we order, is in bulk, like Costco wholesale bulk. So the cans that we get are about the size of an average person's head. The tuna pack that we get is 6 pounds a package. So you're not going to have to open up 80 cans. You're going to have to open up 6 packages instead to feed about 100 to 200 people.
What are the snacks of choice? Like, first of all, let's say I'm just hungry and I just in between meals and I'm ignoring my dentist's advice. I'm going to do a little in between snacking. Can I just get a snack if I want it?
Yeah, we always keep the mess sacks full of either cereal. We can order Rice Krispie treats, Pop-Tarts, Lara bars, Nutri-Grain bars, and then we always have fresh fruit out, like bananas, apples, mangoes are a heavy hitter.
Okay. And then, so as far as like, being 24 hours, how does it work? Because there's probably somebody always cooking, there's probably somebody always shopping, and there's always somebody probably preparing, and there's probably always somebody cleaning up. So how does all that work? Because it's just nonstop.
So there's usually 2 shifts. There's a day shift that goes from 7 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, and then a night shift that goes from 7 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. And there's always somebody cleaning, no matter what. There's always plenty of people cleaning. There's at least a couple bodies cooking at any given time. We go through 4 meals a day, so it's a lot of feeding, it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of cutting onions, potatoes, peppers, thawing out meats. So it's a lot of work.
Now, I've been on this ship before, and I thought they had these big kettle boilers, right? Could you describe that?
So we have 6 of them in the main galley. The smallest one is 55 gallons. The biggest one is 80 gallons. And those pretty much are just massive steel bowls that can fill up with steam and get really, really hot. And then you just throw whatever food you need in there and it will start cooking, and you mix it with a giant steel paddle. Practically
like an oar from a rowboat?
Yeah, like a canoe oar that you would just use, but it's just massive steel. It's heavy. You spin it around to mix all the food around. Makes it much easier than putting it all in ovens or on a grill.
So when you cook for yourself, are you like a lazy cook? Because it's like, you cook all the time, so like, let's say you're on leave. Will you actually cook for yourself, or you'll make something complicated?
No, I love to cook. I cooked before the Navy, and I will definitely try out different recipes for like me and my girlfriend at home. I always end up cooking dinner, so I don't really like to eat out much.
Because yours is better, right?
Yeah, mine is better, and it also just gives me practice that I can use inside the galley.
What do you like to cook for yourself?
I always like to, as of recently, I've been doing a lot more sushi at home, like poke bowls, sushi, a lot of Japanese stir fries. But I go in like phases of switching it up. Like sometimes I'll be in like an Italian kick, or sometimes I'll start with like American food, and then it'll just go back and forth.
Where did your interest in food start?
So I used to, every job I've had was always food service. Like I used to do catering before I joined the military. So I've always had a big love for food.
And where's your hometown?
I'm from Holly, Michigan.
Oh, wow. All right. Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. And any cooking tips before we go? Anything like,
Don't be afraid to use oils and fats. It always adds good flavor, and it's very healthy for you in moderation.
All right. Hey, thank you. Do you want to say hello to anybody back home?
Hello, Dad, Eric Crawford.
All right. To your family, thank you. Thank you for your service, and thank you for spending time with us today. Thank you.